In this video, I want to share with you how one of my clients managed to go from overwhelmed to empowered when it came to sharing her weirdness. Yes, in the space of online, especially within the spirituality, I guess, industry, we have this mindset that we have to be this certain thing, to maybe articulate ourselves in a certain way. And most of my clients come from the spiritual industry. They are either healers or they're coaches, and they really advocate for people who are spiritual to get into their best, highest version of themselves. And this is what one of my clients, Sarah, does as well. So she came to me a couple of months back, and she was really overwhelmed because she wasn't having any more fun with her business. She got it into her mind that she had to follow a particular set of rules in order to be seen as a particular person. And she got into that mindset because she was working with more people, she was collaborating, and they did their thing their way. And so she wasn't sure how she could share all of her weirdness. She managed to make herself believe that she was weird. And I always believe that labels are for jars and not for people. So when she came to me and she was talking about all the kind of labels that she has attached to herself, that other people have attached to her, we worked on 4 steps to help her unapologetically be visible again. So she wasn't constantly doubting, double guessing, and thinking that nobody needs to hear from her because she wasn't like everybody else. The very main crux of who she was and what she does is because of who she is, not because she's a cookie cutter person. So the first thing we started to do was let her allow herself to remember who she is not. So many times when it comes to visibility, that's kind of forgotten. It's kind of like, just let everyone know your why and what you do. First of all, we have to strip down who you are not, who you have been kind of clothed in, what unknown labels and tags have been attached to you from others, through their words, through their action, through their tonality. So we have to figure out, first of all, who you are not. And then we can start to work on knowing who you are. So that's what we did. We worked out who she's not, and then we could then have room and space, because it was much more of an empty vessel, to then work on who she was. After we did some different modalities for that, and we went deep in terms of her alignment and her core values, we then started to work on implementing spiritual practices so she could continue to remember who she was. Because there's no point you having spiritual practices that don't align with filling over your cup and overflow, allowing you to tap more into your intuition and know how to do that with your own unique DNA. Too often times you might have a spiritual practice, perhaps you might do random mindfulness, you might do random prayer, but there maybe isn't anything that's continuously feeding you and your soul to let you know this is who I am, and to remind yourself of the amazing person that you are, about the gifts that you bring the world, and to make sure that you are the empty vessels every day, so that you are actually communicating with the universe and saying, what would you want me to do? Who do you want me to be? Who do you want me to serve? Those types of questions and those types of journaling prompts will just help you to kind of get very clear, so that you are able and to speak your truth from a place of, I know who I am, I'm grounded. So that's the next thing. And also there's lots of things in there to make sure that her core values aligned with her everyday, and anything that didn't kind of got removed as well. So there's lots of shadow work going on as well in the spiritual practice, because that's one of the best ways to continuously move forward. So after we implemented some spiritual practices and she started to do more and more, we started to help her take aligned action. I say we, me, spirit, I'm literally that vessel. So taking aligned action, what that looked like for her, that helped her to feel good, to helped her to connect with her audience, to reach the audience she wanted to reach, and without her feeling like she had to do it a certain way. Taking aligned action for her was about her being intuitive. Taking aligned action for her was about her listening to her inner guidance. Taking aligned action was about being inspired by the everyday. It wasn't sitting down and doing a content plan. It was going out in nature, and it was grounding herself in what life was bringing her, the beauty of life, the gratitude of life that was coming up for her. So taking aligned action was a good chunk of her not actually working, because her working was actually relaxing and getting into play mode so that she can take aligned action from that space, from the space of what makes me feel good. And then when the energy was there on screen, it was never then about her doing it because she had to, doing it because she was supposed to, doing it because she had to schedule to. She felt good. She shared from a place of overflow. And then last but not least, we had systems in place to help her whenever she was going through certain challenges, knowing that she's got a backup plan, knowing that she's got content already created. If she wanted to actually create those, put those things in place, it was almost like, you can imagine, right? If you're going through dark night of the soul sometimes, or if you're going through your spiritual awakening process, what happens is you're not going to always be bouncing off the walls. Some of it's going to be quite hard for you to maybe do, depending on where you are in your spiritual journey. So putting systems in place still helps you to get the leads in daily, still helps you to get the content out there in a way that's going to honor you and serve your audience as well. And not overwhelm you as well. Knowing that you've got the time to relax, and if you've got more time, you can give from that capacity. It's not you rush in to do content. So we did those 4 steps, and literally even before the month was out of us working together, she got on video within the first week, and she didn't get on video for like a year. That's huge, because so many times when we are even working around being present and coming from an authentic self, there's a little bit of resistance when it comes to videos, because sometimes we have this mindset that we have to look a certain way as well. We have to have our makeup done, and we have to have our hair done, and we have to look a certain way in order for us to feel good enough. Knowing that you are good enough and you feel good enough internally, everything else kind of takes care of itself. So those are the steps that my client took in order to move forward. Now, I broke down those steps for you because I want you to do the same. You can use a KIT, which is what it stands for. Knowing who you're not and who you are. Implementing spiritual practices to help you stay high vibe. Taking aligned action, and then utilizing systems that will help you to move forward. That's it. Now, obviously, if you want some help for that to work for you, because obviously there's practices like dialectal behavior therapy and hypnotherapy to get you there further, then I am available for you to move forward with. But I just want to encourage you that it is possible for you. You don't have to wait for somebody to help you to do this. I'm available, yes, but I'm not saying that you will not get where you want to without me. What I'm saying is there is a system that I follow that helps my clients to get what they need to get, so that they're not no longer expanding in their presence and taking up space and then contracting. They're no longer doing this dance of, oh my gosh, too much information, feeling so overwhelmed and then not doing anything for months. They are continuously growing and expanding, not only in their spiritual awakening process, but in their business, because they're allowing themselves to get that assistance. So if that sounds like you, all you got to do is click the link below and you'll be able to connect with me, and we can discuss exactly how I can help you. We will have a discussion on Messenger, and there's no heavy sales tactics going on. I don't believe that you need to push somebody to do what they innately want to do. So thank you for watching. Thumbs this video up if you found this beneficial, and let me know what's come up for you when it comes to the process I just described. Thank you for watching.